Hey.
I say supposedly. I'm gonna go ahead and share the stream link real quick since we totally just made this up. This shit out there. No viewers so far. If you're watching this in the future and you're like, this is a really boring way to start out a live stream, it is, but it was also totally unplanned because originally we were gonna stream on Dan's Twitch, but
Correct.
OBS was a bitch.
Correct. Two correct statements right in a row. Good job.
I'm very good at making correct statements.
While Rudy is getting that posted, Briggs Myers, hot or nah? Isabel Briggs Myers.
You should pull up a picture so we actually know what that means.
Can I do it on? I guess I can. Because we got Zoom.
Junk shop's in the chat. Here we go. So, at least someone is here to see us sit around and be fools. Alright, so the point of this live stream today is that we want to talk about personality tests because we both have been. You know what? Yes.
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 That's Briggs Myers.
Mm-hmm.
Isabel Briggs Myers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
On the right.
Yep.
Now Catherine Cook Briggs. Oh, that's the other one. Okay, so that's both of them.
That's
both
Myers and Briggs.
That's no. There's okay. So one is named Isabel Briggs Myers, and her mother is named Catherine Cook Briggs.
Okay.
So
they're both
Myers and Briggs.
Okay. Mother-daughter duo.
Mother-daughter combo.
Ooh. That's great. Okay, well that's what I needed to know about that. Right, so as you've probably guessed, unless you have no idea what Myers-Briggs is, yeah, we're talking about personality tests today. We have both at points in our life been kind of obsessed with personality tests. I know I was obsessed with, like, the Myers-Briggs personality test when I was a little bit younger, and a couple of others that I'll get into later. What is your personal history with the personality test, Dan?
Well, Myers-Briggs, a classic in the world of personality typing systems. However, I was an Enneagram boy. I like those Enneagrams because I thought Enneagrams, and I still kind of do, are just more informative to people, even though I still think they're kind of pseudoscience in a way. Mm-hmm. It's like I get more out of an Enneagram reading than I do with anything else I've read. I don't know what it is. It just seems to make sense to me and describe who I am the best. But I don't know if it's like completely valid as a concept. I just know it kind of made sense. So
fair enough. Very valid. I will say for me personally, I did not literally hear about Enneagrams until like earlier this week, and I learned about it from Dan. And of course, I should probably introduce you. If you don't know who Dan is, you're crazy. What's wrong with you? Why don't you know who this beautiful man is? He is the host of ACA's Truth Wanted, which is a wild-ass show where people call in and make wild-ass claims. He doesn't hang up on them right away. He's like, that's wild. Tell me more about that. But also, why do you believe that? And he's real gentle, real patient, just a great dude. And we were just having a phone conversation after his last episode, and somehow we got to Enneagrams, and we were both just like, we need to live stream this. So
correct. Here we are. And so what we've decided was we would, I guess, talk about our favorite type systems and our histories with it, and then see, like, are they real, though? Is that legit? Now, you said, let's start with the Myers-Briggs first, I guess. My Myers-Briggs type is an ENFP.
Interesting. I have been in
Extroverted,
the ENFP.
introverted. Extroverted, introverted, thinking, perceiving.
I thought it's extroverted intuitive.
Oh, you're right. Intuitive. That makes more sense. You can't be extroverted and introverted unless you're an ambivert, which is a thing.
I also think that the typing system of extroverted introvert is also just wrong, if I'm being completely
That,
honest.
yeah, it's, yeah. I guess it can be used as a descriptor with like what do you spend most of your time doing, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But whether or not you enjoy, I mean, I feel like people enjoy both aspects of it to some degree.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons that I have become more skeptical of personality tests in the first place, with kind of realizing that even the very simplest categorizations that we have for people don't really hold up. Like
Hmm.
under scrutiny, under testing. Like there's no way to necessarily quantify introversion and extroversion. So yeah, but apparently you can if you're taking the Myers-Briggs test. I just did the test for the first time in years, and I got ESFP, which is uh
Ooh.
extroverted. Let me see what it is again. Extroverted, observant, or sensing. I think is what it used to be.
Sensing.
But it says observant now. But it used to be is that stood for sensing. But yeah, extroverted, observant, or sensing, feeling, and prospecting. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about, well, I guess I'll get into that in a little bit, but there's like for the Myers-Briggs, all of the different types come with like a name for them. ESFP is apparently the entertainer, which I'd say I'm entertaining. I feel like that kind of fits me to some degree. Um, but one of the first things I wanted to talk about really with any of these personality tests is that it's pretty well known that you get different results almost every time to take them. Like, that's. It's especially well known with the Myers-Briggs test. There's been studies done on it, and I think it was something like 20 to 60% of participants uh, got a different result when they took the test multiple times. That's it's not very accurate.
Yeah. No. No. And if it's supposed to be like, especially when people talk about, oh, this is who you're most compatible with in relationships
Oh
and
yeah.
stuff like that, then it's like it gets real messy real fast. See, this is why I prefer the Enneagram system a little bit more because I don't think that happens as often. I have no data to back that up, but I've never heard of anybody personally who has switched from one Enneagram type to another.
Hmm.
Usually you stay that way your whole lifetime. Now, maybe they take a test and they get a wing that they didn't get before, and we can get that into that. But my Enneagram type is a 4, which
Okay.
is the individualist. Did you take your Enneagram test? Do you know what you
I
are?
did. First of all, I want you to guess which one do you think
Oh,
I got
I
the
am gonna. Okay. I'm gonna say you are a 5.
incorrect.
No. Okay. What
I
are
got a
you?
49% match with 5. I got a
Ooh,
98% match for 8.
for an 8, I could
Yeah.
see that.
And I got a 96% match, so very closely following for type 2.
Okay,
And
so a 2 and an 8. Interesting.
yeah. Uh and that's something that I noticed with some of these personality tests is that it's like, okay, if I took this test and I got a 98 in one category and a 96 in another category, but I'm going to call myself the one category, it seems like it's like they're so close it might as well just be both, right?
Hmm. Which do you feel like describes you more now that
I
you've looked into it?
I think that 2 describes me more. I very much like think of myself as a giver. I try not to. I granted, I'm usually not the kind of person who lets myself get walked all over. I'm not so giving that I give too much. Usually I put my boundaries up long before I reach the point where I'm over giving. But
Mm.
being a person who is there for other people, being able to support other people, being able to be somebody else's pillar, or just somebody they can always talk to, that's something that's very important to me.
Is your basic fear to being unloved?
Ba- I don't know. I don't know what
That's
my
what this
basic
says.
fear is.
Wikipedia. Your basic fear. See, my basic fear as a 4 is having no identity or significance. And I think that rings true. According to this, for 2s, your basic fear is being unloved.
Okay, well,
And your
what's the basic fear for 8 then?
the basic fear for 8 is being controlled, harmed, or violated.
See, that actually sounds more like me a little bit more.
Mm.
So it's very I don't know that I fit more into one category than the other.
All
I
right, what
feel
about
like it's
this?
pretty equal on both.
Basic desires for 2s are to feel love, but the basic desire for 8s is self-protection.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't think
What
that
are
big
you,
I don't
Rudy?
think that big picture, which I think is another reason why these personality typing things might not always work super well in actual practical usage, is because they're so big picture that our everyday decisions and stuff don't always necessarily reflect that.
Sure.
Like if you ask me, what's your basic fear as a blank type? It's like I don't know. Like that's so broad. That's so huge. In one circumstance, that what I would be afraid of might change circumstantially. So it's no, I don't know. That's one of the things that I've noticed is that when you try to apply these things, it ends up so broad that it's like, yeah, maybe when I'm reading it, I'm like, yeah, that describes me. But then in practice, it's like, I don't know how much I could apply this. Because when you're thinking about yourself, when you're taking a personality quiz or something like that, you're thinking of like everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like when it asks you, oh, how likely are you to do this? You're thinking of all the parties you've ever been to, all tests you've ever taken, blah, blah, blah. But that doesn't mean that's going to be how you act when you take your next test or go to your next party. And that's one of the reasons I think that, at least with the Myers-Briggs test, especially, people's scores change so often.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if, I mean, I question whether or not we should be using these tests at all for anything,
Besides
right? Like,
entertainment.
besides entertainment, but even beyond that, like, I mean, there are corporate tests that kind of work on some of these same principles based
Mm-hmm.
on like, oh, what would you do in this action in this situation and
Yeah,
stuff.
in some of the research that I've done, like a lot of Fortune 500 companies use the Myers-Briggs test actually
Mm-hmm.
to try to figure out where to put people within the company, what jobs will best suit them, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but when this is something that changes so often, and especially if you know that you're taking this test to get job placement, your questions are going to be a little, or your answers are going to be a little different than what
Mm-hmm.
you might enter outside of that. So definitely not the most useful thing for business, even though it gets used for that so often.
Yay. So now what?
Now what?
Well, now, like, what do we do with this? Because we live in a society that values personality typing systems, like, and some people say they're fine,
Mm-hmm.
but
I'm,
we might be of the opinion of that we shouldn't even be using them in the first place.
I mean, some people treat their astrology signs or whatever like it's a personality type, and I certainly don't believe that the stars determine anything, but there's at least like a little bit of psychological sort of thinking behind the personality tests, so we tend to trust them a bit more. And I guess the only thing that we can do, the problem is that they have utility. But the utility is only there if they're actually accurate, and they're not. But the utility is it helps you kind of, in theory, understand other people, understand yourself and your own thought processes, your strengths, your goals, where you fit in the world. And people want that. People want some sort of quantifiable, this is how I operate, this is how other people operate, this is where I should be. But that's something that varies over time. That's something that there's not really any one answer to. So it's difficult, but it's one of those things where I don't really know what we could do to replace it, because I think people are always going to be looking for that easy fix, that kind of like, this is where I am in the world, this is the kind of person that I am. Like, people want to quantify that stuff. I don't think we're ever going to be able to get them to stop.
Here's what I think we should do. I think we should get DARPA, our national defense program, and get like $5 billion from there. Capture/kidnap all the best psychologists and scientists in the world and create a real life version of the Sorting Hat from Harry Potter.
Okay.
And we base our society based on that.
Right. No. Okay. But
why not? Why not, Rudy?
Because at the end of the day, no matter what kind of sorting hat system you have, it only applies to where you are mentally right now.
Typical Hufflepuff.
Shut up. But I mean that's like
you're not thinking like a Ravenclaw. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my god. My point is that even if such a thing could exist, it would only apply to the mindset you currently have,
Yeah. But isn't that useful? I mean, doesn't that tell you something?
I guess it does, but it might be useful for wherever you are now. But at the same time, what else is something that's useful that isn't like anything real? It's just a bunch of Barnum statements. Tarot card readings.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically nothing. It's based on nothing. Doesn't actually do anything. But it's just like, think about this in your life. And it's like, thinking about it. I'm thinking about how that might apply. And now I'm making it apply. And I've gotten some use out of tarot card readings. I've had a friend who was a believer and a friend who was not a believer both do tarot card readings for me. And I sort of took it the same way either way, of just kind of like, I'm going to find a way to make this apply to my life because that's how it works. And maybe it will help me get a different perspective on something.
See, but this is why I like Enneagram, though, because when I read about the individualist, the romantic, and the person who is idealistic in nature, and I read about what the strengths and weaknesses are of that, like, that resonates with me. I don't know if this is based off of observable data or if this is a complete description of who I am. But when I read the words that this is telling me of what my personality type is, like, that hits something in me and matches with my experiences, and therefore I make a connection with that. Whereas when I read those other Enneagram types, I can get pieces here and there, but I genuinely think out of those 9, like, that one best describes me, at least who I am right now. Yeah. So, like, is that meaningful? Is that worth keeping in my life if I'm someone who is to say that I want my beliefs and my worldview to be based on the most observable evidence possible? If we have this system that isn't based on the best evidence possible, is it consistent for me to say that? You think? I don't know.
Yeah, I really don't know either. I do think, though, with what you were saying about, what type was it that you said you were?
I'm a 4.
4, right. I feel like there's nothing, I feel like when I was reading those quizzes, 2 is the one that resonated very strongly with me, and that's
Hmm.
fine. I think the problem really is when people are like fully convinced that that is like the limit of their personality.
Mm.
They sort of box themselves into whatever category they've been given. I feel like when you take those tests, don't just read up on the one that you got. Read them all, find what stuff matches with you and what doesn't, and sort of make a personalized, conglomerative, uh, this is how to reach my goals, this is my weaknesses, this is, you know, uh, something that is a little bit more broad spectrum, because realistically, pretty much every personality type is at least going to have something in there that will resonate with you. Some more than others, but um, yeah, I mean, I feel like if you only take it from the one that you most resonate with, you are certainly ignoring parts of yourself, right?
Mm. Interesting. Interesting. I think I agree to that. But that also makes me wonder, though. Again, it goes back to this question of, well, should we even just abolish this? Should we just keep using these systems? Like, should we have a world in which corporations can judge whether or not you're employable based off of this? Or should we just do away with it?
Yeah, I guess ultimately I feel like they might not be super useful, but I feel like getting rid of them would still be a waste, because even though there's always going to be people that take too seriously, um, you
Well,
can
let me put,
still. I feel like they
yeah.
are still good tools for self reflection, as long as you aren't completely boxing yourself in, as long as you take it with a grain of salt, and if you read something that you think, I don't resonate with that, then just skip it. No, you don't.
Well, I mean, I think that's good for personal use, but like if we're talking about let's say this, right? Like if I found out that the company I was trying to apply for is judging my work ethic or my ability to work with others on the team based on my horoscope,
Yeah.
I would say that's bullshit, right? I would say that's not a fair criteria at all. But if they're using Myers-Briggs, should I say that's bullshit in the same way?
I,
Like what, because we seem to have a difference,
yeah.
like I think intuitively people seem to view those things differently, and it's because, like you said, it's maybe based on more observation.
Mm-hmm.
It's maybe based on, some psychologists like a couple decades ago,
Mm-hmm.
talking to their patients and making a system out of it, so it's not based on absolutely nothing. But is it fair? Is it just? Like, that's what I'm kind of interested in this conversation, because
Yeah.
we can talk about all day about how useful it is to the individual. Because
Mm-hmm.
I think, we've already expressed some of that, but like,
Right.
what is its place in society? How much faith should we have in these things on an institutional level? That's what I'm curious about, because I don't
Yeah.
know the answer.
I think at an institutional level it shouldn't apply, because,
Mm.
as we have already stated, this is something that changes so often,
Mm-hmm.
and it is way more a tool for self-reflection than it would be at all useful for sort of determining anything about your future, what you're going to be good at in a company, that kind of thing. um I think they don't have a place there.
Mm.
They are pseudoscience. Of course, the first of such tests was developed in like the 1800s, and it was for detecting psychiatric problems for the U.S. Army in World War I. And it was the first kind of self-report personality inventory type thing, and it had some wacky questions on it, and they haven't gotten less wacky. I feel
Mm.
like. And like I was saying earlier, especially, if you are interviewing for a job and you're taking this test for a job, you know you're going to answer those questions a little differently. You're going to answer them a little bit more like, what would my boss want to hear? Or
Yeah.
potential boss. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work. It shouldn't be used as any kind of metric.
I think I'm inclined to agree. I think I would also not want to use it for any kind of hiring process, any kind of application towards university or anything like that. Like there doesn't seem to be enough research on these systems that demonstrates beyond reasonable doubt that they're accurate and that they're meaningful, you know, beyond like a sigma.
Yeah.
It's the 3 sigma, the percentage of knowledge, right? Or percentage of confidence. So like
Hmm.
in that way, I would say no. But I do wonder, we are judging people for their applications towards positions and things on something. It's going to be relevant work experience or maybe grade point average or something. And that's a resume is not always going to be the best indicator either. I can
Right.
I can have somebody have the most perfect resume to work for a position in my company, and I could find out they're a total jerk and I don't want them to actually work for me because
Right.
that resume is not going to tell me anything about the personality.
Right. But that's what interviews are for. Like
Mm.
I feel like, and this to me is kind of ridiculous because I feel like I've aced every job interview I've ever went to. Uh but I also show up to those interviews and I see people who kind of look like they just rolled out of bed and they answer questions with one word answers, and it's like, do you really think you're gonna get the job that way? But like, that's how they are, and
Hmm.
they're showing you right up front how few shits they give about it. That kind of tells you all you need to know up front. But at the end of the day, you're really not gonna fully know how they're going to serve in your company until you hire them.
Mm.
I think that that's just inevitable, and trying to get around that using personality tests and stuff like that just doesn't work. I feel
Mm.
like even there are some people who probably just wouldn't bother with a personality test. Like if they were asked to sit down and take a personality test, they'd just be like, "Never mind, this is too much."
So that tells you something about their personality, though.
That's part of the personality test.
That's part of the test. It's all part of the test.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
and of course, everything that's on a resume is not going to be relevant, and the resume will be missing a lot of things. But at least it pertains to work. It pertains directly to the thing that you need to know about this person. It's not all the information, but it's information that actually matters, as opposed to like, am I an introvert or an extrovert? How does that affect my work?
Yeah. Yeah. I hear what you're saying. Well, I guess the world is a confusing existential mess and we'll never
Sure.
know the answers to anything.
Probably not. But that's what we're talking about though in the meantime.
Yay.
Speaking of in the meantime, now that we've talked about our own more sort of big clinical personality tests, let's have some fuzzy ones.
Oh, yay. Did you get some picked out for us to do?
I did.
All right.
First one, what D&D class are you, Dan? I'm gonna quiz ya.
Oh, joy. I'm ready.
First of all, one of these days I am gonna get you to play D&D. Just so you
Yeah,
know.
still have never
Eventually.
played D&D in my life. So,
I'm gonna change that at some point.
you can break my D card, you know. You could. You could take it.
I'm shut up. Just okay. Question number one. What is
Uh-huh.
your style? Might, magic, or guile? And the answers are might, nice and direct. Magic can cover for the other two, so I'll take that. Option number three is Guile. The direct approach is neither the best nor the safest. Option number 4 is might and magic. Option number 5 is guile and magic. Option number 6 is might and guile. And the last one's a little bit of everything.
I'm going to say might and guile.
Might and guile. What is the best way to better oneself and become great? Hard work and study and dedicated discipline, being naturally talented, observing and contemplating the world around you, following the advice and example of those who are greater, using your own internal judgment to carve out your path, and experience, try as many things as possible.
I'm going to say internal judgment.
Interesting. What range do you prefer to fight? The answers are close to medium, medium to long, and any. So basically, how do you like your steak done?
Like, I don't know if I've ever, well, I was going to say, I don't know if I've ever fought anybody at a long range, but I guess I've done paintball, but I don't know if that's what they're looking for.
I mean, I would consider paintball combat. I'm just
going to say medium.
Medium. Okay. Weapon of choice. This is so specific to D&D and I love it. My body is my primary weapon is option 1. So you're like a hand.
That's typically the case.
Well, yeah. Light weapons, versatile weapons, a weapon paired with a shield, a ranged weapon. Who needs weapons? I have magic. And a heavy two-handed weapon.
I'm going to go with versatile weapon.
Interesting. You supplement your martial prowess with advanced combat techniques, mobility, poison, traps, curses, something along those lines, magic or supernatural abilities, rage, and I don't have martial prowess. Are you joking?
I'm going to say supernatural abilities.
What is the best source of power? My own well-trained body, an active mind, an unflinching spirit, arcane magic, god spirits and demons, or nature?
I'm going to say an unflinching spirit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do you think of animals? Tasty. Great beasts are worthy of prey. Animals are better company than people. Summoning magical creatures in battle can be helpful. Don't like animals. The natural world is fascinating. Or they aight.
I'm going to go with the natural world is fascinating.
Much magic would you be willing to learn? Dedicate your life to the study? Dedicating your life to learning a specific kind of magic? Focusing on a very narrow scope of magic to master? Magic is an important part of your skill set, but not the main focus. Only a little bit of magic to enhance your already abundant skills, or I don't need magic.
I'm going to go with the not the main focus option.
Got it. How good are you in social situations? Amazing. Average. Loner by nature. Not very good. At least animals love me.
I'm going to say amazing.
Alright, Mr. Confidence. Last question. What is your greatest asset? Strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. Of course, the 6 ability scores of D&D couldn't go without them.
I'm gonna say charisma.
I should have guessed. Bum, bum, bum. You are. Yes, actually, it's a well-known one, so it's not a crazy super secret one.
Am I a rogue?
No, you are a
Oh.
paladin.
Oh,
Your
okay.
power comes from an unswerving dedication to your ideals.
I'll take it. We take those.
Yep. Yep.
Wait, wait,
What?
wait.
What?
I'm a paladin.
I should have seen that coming. Now I'm gonna take it, and you guys already heard the question, so I'm just gonna take it really fast.
Oh shoot. While Rudy
Vamp.
takes the quiz, I'm going to sing a song. This is the song of the paladin. Paladin, paladin. This
Okay,
is the
I can't
song.
stand you.
I'm just
Oh.
sticking to my ideals. Okay?
Oh yeah,
Don't
you're
be a
unswerving
my
something on
unswerving
ideals.
ideals. Don't be a player hater. All right?
Bu- 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 bu.
Bum, 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 bum,
I already
bum,
know
bum,
what
bum,
I'm gonna
bum,
get
bum,
based
bum,
on
bum,
the
bum,
stuff that I
bum.
have.
I'm gonna guess you're a wizard.
I also think I'm gonna end up being a wizard. Bu- bu.
You're such a wizard. You're Selena
Oh
Gomez.
no, I'm not. I'm a ranger. My skill set is a blend of naturalistic knowledge and personal survival skills. Rangers are at home in even the wildest and least hospitable places. I don't know if that's accurate, but okay.
I don't know if that's accurate either.
It's not. But hey, you know what?
I think
It's a
when we
very
appl-
simple quiz.
when we apply to McDonald's and other places, they should do D&D tests, and that should be the determinant of who gets what job.
That's a good idea. If you're a bard, you work the cash register and take orders. If
I
you're
think they should do the same thing. What if, like, when we have like Senate elections and, like, like the runoffs and stuff at the House, and we would just be like, well, I really like this guy's policies, but he tested as a rogue, right? Like, we can't trust him.
Oh my god. Okay, this time I'm just gonna share the screen so that you can see the screen and I don't have to read the questions off. That'll make
Okay.
this a lot easier. Let me just do this real quick. Share screen. Which screen am I sharing? Which screen am I sharing? It's not doing it. Why isn't it doing it? Host
Oh, no.
Disabled participant. Oh, you disabled participant screen sharing, you bastard.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Change the sentence.
I'm trying.
The people need to see.
Um.
Because this quiz has pictures.
Well, now it's checked, so you should be able to do it.
Okay. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Huzzah.
Yay. Pick a superhero.
Wait,
So
that's not correct. Hold on. The heck?
I like how they have all these cool illustrations and CGI, and then they have like the Adam West Batman.
Hold up. Is this showing correctly for everybody? Because this is not looking correct.
I
here.
see BuzzFeed. Oh,
Yeah,
I
no,
see.
on the actual live stream, it is not coming through at all. Haha. Well, let me try this again. Zoom. Stop share. And let me try this. Because it's dumb. No. That one. Nope, I can't screen share right now. What? The
Well,
hell?
darn.
What the hell is happening? Oh goodness. Hold
This
on.
is. Come on, use your ranger abilities.
Yeah, I have
Get
to
us,
use
get
my
us out of
survival
here.
skills. My survival skills are failing me. I'm doing a lot at once. Okay. Okay. Spare me. Um let me try this. Or don't try that. That's fine. Oh, now it's doing
I'm,
that. Okay, I'm just gonna read it off because this is being real messed up. I don't know why. It seems like it should be pretty straightforward, but it isn't. So that's that. I'm just gonna read them off. Okay, pick a superhero.
I like Batman. I saw Batman on there.
Okay, pick a movie. Uh, the movies are In the Heart of the Sea. Never heard of it. Liam Neeson Taken. X-Men. I guess you can choose which X-Men
Yeah,
movie.
there's a lot of good X-Men movies and bad X-Men movies, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hacksaw Ridge, American Beauty, Matilda, The Craft, The Devil Wears Prada, Brave, Superbad, Meet the Robinsons, Fight Club, Ocean's 11, and The Godfather.
That is quite a list. I
Right?
don't know if I've ever seen Meet the Robinsons and Ocean's 11 on the same list of
I know.
movies
I was
for
like, the
anything.
variety here is insane.
I don't think anybody would. I guess they're accounting for people who haven't seen some of those movies. I'm gonna go with Matilda. I feel like that is the underdog choice.
Matilda's a great fucking movie. What trait best
I'm,
describes you?
I'm picking Matilda for Danny DeVito. He's in that movie, right? Yeah,
The dad. Uh,
yeah.
what trait best describes you? Leader, dramatic, unpredictable, creative, protective, passionate, mysterious, loyal, insightful, independent, playful, loud, inventive, and alluring. I love that word.
I don't think there's enough choices. I think we need some more.
Yeah, there definitely aren't enough
There
choices.
wasn't enough choices there. Fuck it, mysterious.
Really?
You don't fucking know me.
Don't know shit.
You don't know shit.
Like another trait that best describes you. Oh my god. I wish that I could figure out how to screen share. But irritable, vain, jealous, arrogant. Apparently these are like negative traits.
Okay.
Arrogant, antisocial, vengeful, weird, obsessive. I always think I'm right. That's not really a trait, but like a one-word trait, whatever. Wild, almost too happy, irresponsible, belligerent, and immature.
I'm gonna go with arrogant.
What is your biggest fear? I feel like you kind of already said that earlier, wasn't it? Like not being forgotten. Would that be
Yeah.
close enough?
Sure. I think so.
Yeah, okay. I feel like it's close enough to what you were describing earlier. Pick an
More like
animal.
life without a purpose, but yeah.
Yeah. There was nothing else on here that was close to that. I feel
I
like that was
gotcha.
yeah. Uh, pick an animal. Wolf, grizzly bear, crow, bull, panther, polecat, horse, ram, donkey, gecko, owl, dove, dolphin, and boar.
I guess I'm going with the polecat, baby.
Why? I want to know what your thought process is on this.
Because ferrets are cool.
uh,
I don't know.
okay, this
They're
one definitely requires visual because it's like pick an architectural style.
uh, uh, can you describe the locations? I'm gonna. Is the Taj Mahal on there? I'll pick the Taj Mahal.
No. Uh, no. But there's other stuff similar-ish. Maybe.
Come on, Rudy, you're not up to date on your
I
latest
don't
architectural
know shit about
trends.
architecture.
Can you not even identify a neoclassical piece?
That sounds like regular
Hello.
art.
Do you understand if this is a relief or
I don't know
what's the
what
other
that
one?
means.
What's the other one? A relief and then the opposite. I don't know.
I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't know shit.
Okay, here's what you do. Close your eyes and then pick one at random.
Okay. Honestly, I'm gonna pick whichever one looks the closest to the Taj Mahal. That's what I'm gonna do.
All right. Or pick the one that looks closest to my face.
Architecture?
That's how architecture works.
It is not. Pick a plant. First of all, I guess let me narrow this down. If you were gonna pick a plant, would it be a plant, a flower, or a tree, or a food item?
What are we picking what are we picking it for? What are we doing with it? Is there a task to be done? Or are we just thinking what aesthetically appeals
That's
to
what
us?
it says. It says pick a plant.
Fucking spinach. Like, is that on there?
If you're good, no. But the food items that are here are wheat and grapevine.
What does this say about my personality? I guess a grapevine. Fuck it, that sounds fun.
Pick a place to visit. New York City, Santorini, Valladolid? I don't know what that is. Battle Creek, Michigan? Nafplio? I don't know. That sounds Italian. London, Prince of Wales Island, Barcelona, Ibiza, someplace in Germany, Mount St. Helens, Madrid, Paris, or Boston.
Let's go with Madrid.
Madrid. Oh, let me scroll down and see how... Yeah, okay, it's not much longer. I was like, this is kind of starting to get bullshit. Oh, okay, great. This one's another...
Just now starting to get bullshit?
It's a BuzzFeed quiz. What do you expect? This one is pick a room, which is even more difficult to describe. What's your just give me some aesthetic ideas, and I'll try to figure out which one is more of you. Are you looking for something fancy, something kind of like punk rock looking, something rustic?
I want the Bat Cave. Which one looks like the Bat Cave the most? That's what I want.
A garage that has been turned into what looks like a workout room. That's the closest that I'm seeing to the.
That's the closest to the Bat Cave. A garage turned into a workout room. Fuck it, let's do it.
Pick a sport.
Wait, hold on. Can we just imagine what if the Batman comics he wasn't rich, but he was just a dude, and like
that's exactly what I started thinking about.
And Alfred is just like his uncle that he lives with, that like gets him a lemonade when he's getting really thirsty while he's working out on the bench in his garage in the 100-degree summers in Battle Creek, Michigan.
I feel like
that's Batman.
It's very true that if Batman were not rich, he would be insane. I mean, he's already
he would just be a dude.
Insane. Yeah,
he would just be a sovereign citizen at that point.
Okay, pick a sport, and I'm sure whatever sport you pick will be on this list, so just pick a favorite sport instead of reading them off. You picked the one that isn't on here. Congratulations.
Wow.
How
mini golf.
You picked another one that isn't on here. How?
Then it's not really going to describe me.
Ultimate Frisbee?
Sure, I like Ultimate Frisbee.
I knew that about you, even though I didn't know that about you.
Because I'm a fucking weird, lanky white boy. Like, every weird, lanky white boy loves Ultimate.
Right, the only other person I know who likes Ultimate Frisbee is also a lanky white boy.
Exactly. It's in our blood. We can't jump, and you don't need to jump to do Ultimate.
Who is your favorite character from Greek mythology?
Your mom. Just saying.
No.
Oh. Well, Hephaestus.
Not one of the gods. like just
Not one of the gods?
Yes, you'd pick like demigods, heroes, all that stuff, but not like one of the gods.
This test sucks. I'm gonna say fucking Archimedes.
Archimedes?
Well, I guess Archimedes was like a real person, right?
Yeah, what are you talking? I'm like, that's not a Greek myth.
He had some myth stuff to him. They said he built that mirror, but that wasn't true. They did that thing on MythBusters. Anyway, fucking
You named a real person.
Chad from Sparta. I'm sure there was a guy
Hercules.
in Sparta named Chad.
I'm just gonna pick Hercules. And
All right, Hercules. That's cool.
Okay, wait, let me see how... Oh, this is the last question. Pick a drink. Brandy, Chardonnay...
Vodka.
Vodka it is.
Hell yeah.
You are most like, according to this BuzzFeed quiz, very accurate, the Greek god Ares.
What?
The god of war.
Hey, Rudy?
Yeah?
What does my fondness for the movie Matilda starring Danny DeVito have to do with fucking Ares, the god of war? What does my fondness for Madrid, Spain, and Batman have to do with Ares?
Here's the thing, Dan.
What the fuck does my taste in architecture have to do with Ares?
I don't know.
Rudy?
I don't know. But I feel like the point of this is truly that, I mean, personality tests are kind of all BS. You know? It's just answering a bunch of questions. It's just answering a bunch of questions and seeing which one you most fit with. It doesn't necessarily describe you. It's just the ones that you.
I don't even think it was the most fit with. I think it just picked one out of a hat. I think it just did a random generator there. I refuse to believe. I refuse to believe that my taste in vodka has something to do with.
Well, now I'm gonna take this quiz.
So good. I would love to see your results. Maybe, I don't know. Is Danny DeVito the god of war? Is that what we've discovered through this process? Also, it makes you pick a myth. Like I picked Hercules. Why does I
picked Hercules for you.
I know.
What's my biggest fear? Rejection or spiders? Probably spiders.
What if a spider rejected you? Would that be better or worse?
That's a good question. I guess I'd still feel kind of bad. But like, that's not very nice. I feel like it would only really make me sad if I knew I was getting rejected by the spider. You know?
Yeah.
But spiders can't really express that, so I don't know how it would get that across to me exactly.
What if the concept of rejection spidered you?
What?
I don't know. I was just flipping words around.
Ugh.
Saying to spider somebody is a strange verb. I wonder what that could mean.
Because I can look at this. Oh, they don't have any of the wines that I actually like on this list. So I guess that I'm picking ale. I got Aphrodite.
Aphrodite, huh?
Which I didn't expect. Also, I expected Athena. That was the one that I liked the most as a kid.
How much time do you think it took to make that quiz? Like 15 minutes? Tops?
I don't
Gotta
know.
be.
What I
They had the
really
Google
want
image
to
search.
know is what the thought process of whoever put these quizzes together is. I remember when I was in high school, I tried to make like a which Greek god are you most like type of quiz, and I put an extreme amount of thought into it. And I actually had I had the quiz like branch off, like at certain points you've answered enough questions that I know you're not any of these guys, so let's move on to this question, this like group of
Mm.
questions. So it was like very personalized and tailored and narrowed it down further. So I thought it was very accurate. Quizzes like this
Mm.
don't work. It's exactly the same number of questions. Does it change based on your answers?
It's just something to click on before you click on an ad. That's all it's for.
Yeah. But they're fun. And the thing is, I feel like the results of those types of like BuzzFeed type quizzes are pretty much exactly the same amount of fun that you have taking like actual personality quizzes. And the results are only a little more accurate, you know?
I mean, they gotta be more accurate than Ares, god of war,
I
as
feel
the
like
description
Goddess
for.
of Love and Beauty is also inaccurate for me. It's like, I like makeup, I guess. Uh,
Yeah, that's like a lot of people. I don't know.
if I was
Like
gonna, if based on how much I actually know about you, if I was gonna give you if I was gonna assign a Greek god to you, it would be probably Hermes. I feel like,
Hermes.
I feel like you're a Hermes.
Okay, I don't know if I agree with that.
Do you agree with it more at least than Aries?
Yes, but I don't think the 12 Greek gods, traditional Greek gods, are should be used as a personality test thing
You're
either.
right. You're right. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
Uh, uh, which one do you think I would be?
I'm trying to think. And I'm also trying to remember all of my Greek gods and goddesses. It's been a while.
There's also slightly different pantheons depending on the time period. So it's
That's
more
true.
like 14 gods or something like that because
You could be an Athena, maybe. Or maybe Athena's wisdom, right? Yeah, you got that wisdom.
see, but here's the thing. She's also the goddess of strategy and I do not play League for a reason.
Oh,
I'm not
well,
good at strategy at all.
maybe you're like a Zeus then.
That's offensive.
Is it?
Yeah,
Zeus
he
is kind of
sucks.
like Zeus is like stubborn and like really
He's a great
like
big
headstrong,
asshole.
right?
Yeah.
Well, they're all assholes.
Yeah, but Zeus is like notoriously an asshole.
Oh, well, again, I don't think this is a very good metric on how to determine
You're
the
right, it's not.
human psyche. I don't know.
You're right, it's not because it's like first of all, the 12 gods of the Greek pantheon does not cover, you know, everything that that any
The
person could be
right.
personality-wise. Um I feel like typing people by 8 different like types doesn't cover everything either, you know? Until you start adding on, but with a little bit of this and a little bit of that,
Mm,
you know, in that same way, I feel like the regular personality quizzes don't add up either. It's like that's kind of why I prefer the quizzes that give you more of a percentage because then
mm.
you have sort of an order that you can go off of like this is my maybe what I relate to the most. I can still get something out of maybe these 3 other ones that are above 50% or something like that, you know. Um you can still get a little bit out of it,
I
I feel like.
Yeah, I guess really all that says though is this is a collection of statements that I identify more with than this collection of statements.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
Which is basically just bargain statements. I mean, you can really make that out of
Yeah.
anything. And that actually reminds me of one of the first videos I did on my channel that wasn't an atheist Bible reading video was this sort of quiz thing that I made around astrology and people's signs. I went to these websites that tell you all about the signs, and I took a bunch of personality traits from every single sign, and I
Hmm.
basically just asked people, "Do you consider yourself this? Do you consider yourself that?" And the results were all over the place For one thing, some of the traits applied to, in fact, a lot of the traits apply to multiple signs. Um, some of the traits were very specific to only one sign, but they also didn't apply to that many people. And some people got way higher scores in other signs than they did in their actual sign. Um, the I don't think that anybody who scored mainly only within one sign were actually that sign. I don't think that happened with anybody. But the point was that the results were all over the place. And I feel like when you break a lot of these personality types down to like just like essential traits, and you're just like, okay, this is a list of words that I associate with this group. If people were just picking out those words, they wouldn't always necessarily end up in that group. You know?
I think
Like when you boil it down to its essentials, people are kind of all over the place.
yes,
They don't fall in
that's
categories like that.
people are complicated, but I don't think that doesn't necessarily mean we could have a personality typing system that could be more defensible. I think
think
it
that
could
would be really
be a thing,
interesting.
but but it would be complicated. I don't for sure. You know, if we share the same view in that human beings are essentially meat machines, then we could look at the hardware of that meat machines and we can at least categorize it to some degree. But see, there's a part of me that wouldn't be a fan of that because I'm against unjust hierarchies on
Yeah.
principle, and I feel like that's a really easy way to create unjust hierarchies
Oh,
amongst people.
absolutely, absolutely.
So
I knew when I was obsessed with Myers Briggs, I definitely saw that because at the end of the quiz, they also say how much of the population fall into certain categories. So it's like, ooh, I'm one of the rare ones, or like, ooh, I'm more like this celebrity who has this personality type, or I'm more fit for this kind of job or that kind of job. And people that are really into that kind of thing do kind of have a hierarchical thing going on to some degree. It's really easy to slip into that at the very
yeah.
least.
Yeah, that's a big reason why I don't like astrology people in general,
Oh my god.
because as soon as I say anything negative, they're gonna be like, "Well, that of course you would say that
I
because you're a
remember
Capricorn
the
or
first
something."
time I ever heard people talking like that, it was these girls that were sitting around talking about the signs. They were like, Scorpios are like so sadistic. And I was like, I'm a Scorpio. I didn't say it, but in my head I was like, if I confront them in this line, I'm like, that's kind of a bigoted thing to say.
It
I'm
really
a
is.
Scorpio. They're just gonna be like, oh, you being all confrontational right now is just proving our point. Like,
Exactly.
I know that I'm not gonna do anything to change people's minds once they've made up this system of categorizing people. Once you do that, it's just kind of it. And I feel like astrology is the worst about that. But
Yeah, I
yeah.
agree. I agree.
Like, I see posts all the time that are like, Jedi's always cheat. And, like, just shit like that. It's just silly, you know?
Yeah, because like if you have only 12 things to go off of, and then you take a group, like if you're on a, I don't know, a subreddit for astrology and there's like
Mm-hmm.
500,000 people, yeah, there's going to be a couple people who have had Gemini partners that have cheated. Like that, it just
Yeah.
has to happen. Like it's just gonna,
Mm-hmm.
if it really is just based on bullshit. But anyway,
Yeah.
I think that's about all the time I got for now
Mm-hmm.
to be doing a stream with you. But this was fun. Sorry
This
we
was
couldn't do
fun.
it on my Twitch channel, but at
No
least we got to do it.
problem. I'm just glad that we got to do it. I think this was a fun conversation, and hopefully, even with the technical difficulties, the people that did make it did enjoy it. Thank you guys all for being here. Those of you who made it. I'm seeing a couple of names that I recognize in the chat. Black Swan, I see you. Junk Shop, Julie. Uh, see y'all. So, and of course, those of you who are watching but not saying anything, I see you too, even though I don't actually see you. I feel you.
Metaphysically.
Yes, yes. Uh, talking about metaphysics here now. We're gonna get into a whole other thing now.
Next time,
Yeah,
metaphysics.
If you are watching this by astrally projecting to me, I sense your presence. Okay, enough of that bullshit. Thank you, Dan, for being here. You are a wonderful guest. We need to have more streams together where we just shoot the shit about some random topic, because this was fun.
I agree. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah. All right. That is pretty much all I have to say. I am the ENFP or ESFP X-Cult baby, reminding you all to go for yourself. And thank you for watching.
Bye-bye.